National Signing Day has come to a close for the Buffs. Maybe there's one more left on the table. I don't think so. We're going to talk all about it. Very good class for the Buffs. What does this mean? And then, of course, the big one. The portal's going to open up here, and that's why I really think things are going to turn on, and we'll talk all about it. Let's get into it. So here's what's important to note, okay? On a day like today, you got a lot of schools calling these guys trying to make last-minute moves. So although it may seem like, oh, just sign him, did your job, it's massive. Closing in on Julian Lewis, London Merritt, Christian Hudson, these guys that came and just committed a few days ago, to be able to hang on to them is very important because like the Buffs, when they are pursuing guys, others are pursuing them, it's a back-and-forth kind of battle, okay? So chalk it up to the Buffs locking in a 38th ranked class currently. It ranked 96th, I believe, last year when it was all said and done. Massive overhaul. Massive. This is, again, because we know where Coach Prime puts his energy and his focus. It's going to be into the portal. So this is just a little bit of a more going this way. Went and got what they needed to get. Now, the big target that everyone had, we had circled on the calendar, was Nathaniel. I said I was concerned about Michigan being in the mix here. And it's soon to be right because Michigan was able to close down strong on Nathaniel, locking him in. Now, as good as the Nathaniel pickup would have been, again, linebackers, still plenty of opportunities in the portal. These names are going to start flooding in. Definitely something to keep an eye on. Again, Alex Graham was another one. Again, I just said at the beginning of the show. He ended up flipping to USC, 6'1", 3-star cornerback. Not too concerned about it. If I had to guess, I gotta believe that Colorado said, hey, we're going to go elsewhere. I really felt the way that things kind of went on Thanksgiving and his message, again, this message right here kind of towards the end, you kind of felt where the energy was going. The big fish was Julian Lewis, and I kept saying, I said, look, I think Coach Prime's got another one in his sleeve. Could we see a big splash? I thought Michael Carroll, the offensive tackle, could be one. He ended up signing with Alabama as well. Nathaniel, I didn't think was a big splash in the sense that what he's done for the last 2 years and the two big gets that he got with the Kermani McClain, the Jordan Seatons, and the Travis Hunter, right? But reason I felt that way is because Julian Lewis needed to be massaged and needed to be worked and committed the way that it did. So again, that was the big splash of the class. I was just thinking, because what he's done for us over the last couple of years. But I also think that Coach Prime's kind of realized, like, it was cool to make the big splashes early on and do those things. I think it was important to growing the brand. But now he's like, look, we ain't got to worry about that. We have established ourselves as a legitimate threat. I don't need to do these type of antics anymore because if I want somebody, we're going to go get somebody, we're going to target you precisely. And that's what I think that is just a growing on. It's a moving on from that type of tactic. And it's like, we're going to get who we want them. I'm not going to get caught up in it. The portal, I'm telling you, opens up so many avenues. And for the fact that they went into the portal, again, they had 8 commits last year. They had 42 guys they brought in from the transfer portal. They went from winning 4 games to 9 games, should have been 10, and almost in the Big 12 championship within a year of another turnover, okay? Some of those guys will be coming back, but they've established themselves. And again, the portal guys are going to be guys that are not going to be focused on the money and want to get paid more and do all these things. We saw it so much today with Solomon Thomas and guys like Dallas Wilson, right? Getting the bag at the end. Another one is Peyton Joseph, who we're going to talk about here in just a minute. They waited because, again, people are throwing bags and money at the last second. Where Coach Prime's going to focus on, I'm going to get you the bag at the end. When these guys go into the portal, right, that early on big signing money isn't there anymore. So now they've got to focus on, what's my contract year, right? Where can I go to make myself very valuable going into the NFL? And that's what Colorado and Coach Prime proved this year with the guys they brought in. Guys that you never heard of, like DJ McKinney, who was at OSU before that, LaJohntay Wester. These guys that played at little schools that nobody even heard of are on the map now because of Coach Prime in Colorado. Okay? So, again, high school recruits, guys, they can't see that far out ahead. They're worried about that money right now. They're getting a bag right then and there. Versus where, again, these guys, they can go after the portal. It's like, look, I got to work my ass off and crush it. But I know that by going here, I'm going to have an opportunity to go pro because the way they run their organization is very pro-like. It's another big one. Again, we won't see the NFL draft before the portal. I think that would help a lot too, but I think everybody knows what's going on. And again, we've seen in the videos, there's going to be NFL talent there all weekend. All this time we went to the bowl game to see Shador, to see Travis, to see Shiloh and others, right? To see what they're going to be able to bring to the table. That helps everybody else around you. So when you're constantly pumping in talent into the NFL, you want to be surrounded by that. And that's what the Buffs are doing right now. So, look, I think ultimately a very successful day with the recruiting class for the Buffs. Again, the big one, the only one they missed out on, in my opinion, was the Nathaniel. That one was the big close. And again, Michael Carroll was a big wish list. But everybody else, locked in and loaded. Now it's time to get to the portal, see where they go. Do they go get a quarterback? Cornerbacks are definitely going to be a factor. Wide receivers. Would love to see some more trench work, right? Continue to buff that thing up, especially if you do just stick with Julian Lewis. Got to protect him. He needs time. You give him time, he'll be able to grow, and you'll be able to get through those growing pains much, much faster. And a running back. It'll be interesting to see, can they go get some more, or again, allow for the running backs they have. I think they have good running backs. Allow for those running backs to take off. But again, and you want to be able to maintain that cornerback play you've had this year too. So it's going to be fun to watch. And I think that's where Alex Graham didn't fit in. Again, Alex Graham was going to come in and play. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it honest. Wish him nothing but the best at USC. That was their last little, I think, try to flip payback for Julian Lewis and Cardi Smith. Even trade. Buffs came out on top. I wouldn't worry. And the last little bit here is Josh Petty, inside offensive lineman, Georgia Tech commit currently. Big appeal on offensive line. Backed off his commitment today. Did not sign today because some other teams have made some movements. Now, those teams have not been mentioned, but I started thinking about it. I go, look, missed out on Nathaniel. Michael Carroll was somebody that, again, in Colorado was looking at. Could they have some extra leftover spend? And again, somebody like this, we just talked about beefing up the inside offensive lineman, had success with Jordan Seaton. You bring in Cardi Smith, you bring in another one. That is huge. This is somebody where I could see Coach Prime being aggressive at. So that'll be something to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. We'll be monitoring that situation as well. So be sure to smash the like button, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of this class? How do you think Prime and the Buffs will be in the portal? We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.